Hello teachers, learners, and parents. Sir Jeff po, at your service. Alam nyo ba na meron tayong website na tinatawag na DepEd Commons? Ang DepEd Commons ay binuo upang gawing accessible ang pagtuturo at pag-aaral dito sa ating bansa gamit lamang ang inyong mga smart devices gaya ng cellphones, tablets, at computers. Dito ay maaari nating ma-access ang iba't ibang learning materials mula sa Department of Education. Meron itong mga interactive materials, electronic self-learning modules, at instructional video lessons mula sa DepEd TV na tiyak na makatutulong sa pag-aaral ng mga mag-aaral galing ka man sa public o private school. Walang problema dahil welcome ang lahat dito. Para ito sa mga guro, magulang at mga mag-aaral mula sa kinder hanggang grade 12, Alternative Learning System o ALS, at pati na rin ang special education. At huwag kang mag-alala dahil kahit walang load ay maaari mong ma-access ang mga learning materials. Tama! Libre ito. Ang kailangan mo lamang gawin ay i-on ang iyong data at buksan lamang ang iyong browser at i-type ang commons.deped.gov.ph. Alam na ba ng iyong mga kasamahang guro o mag-aral ang tungkol sa DepEd Commons? I-share mo na ang video na ito upang matuto rin sila kung paano gagamitin ang DepEd Commons sa mabilis at napakadaling paraan. Muli, ito po si Sir Jeff at kita-kits po tayo sa DepEd Commons. Paalam!
Magandang araw! Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng DepEd Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del P. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na Pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Hello po, good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. So, I am Tutor Gilbert na makakasama niyo po for this afternoon sa Learning Strand 5 po, Understanding Self and Society po. So, before anything else, I'll be sharing my screen po. Ayan po. So, before anything else po, I would like to greet my supportive SDS, Sir JP Torrecampo, SDS po, ng Division of Las Piñas, together with our ASDS po, Sir Juan C. Ogierna po, as well as my ETS, Education Program Supervisor po in Araling Panlipunan po, Sir Nico Gonzalez, as well as my principal, Ma'am Jennifer T. Irispe, my EPS in ALS po, Ma'am Rosel Sabido, my colleagues, my co-teachers po in Las Piñas Science National High School and Las Piñas City National Senior High School, Calondos Campus po. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. So, magandang hapon din po, Ma'am Amabel Pascua from Apari, South District po. Good afternoon po, Ma'am Gil Cipriano po. So, for this afternoon po, this will be the second week of the third quarter po. So, I would like to give credit to Slides Go and Google Docs as well as to ICT for ALS and DepEd Commons po for my learning resources po na nagamit ko po for my gamit ko po for my presentation for this afternoon po. So good afternoon po, Ma'am Sir Ray Tabanera from Aklan. So magandang hapon po. So before we start our discussion for this afternoon, quick recap po muna tayo ng ating tinalakay last week all about the children's rights po. So ito po. So ano po yung gagawin natin? Identify what kind of right is presented in the picture. Ano-ano po kaya yung mga karapatan na pintaglay ng mga bata, those people or human beings below 18 years old, yun po yung na dapat nilang taglay-taglayin at ginagarantiyan ng ating pamahalaan at ng ating estado. Good afternoon po, Ma'am Cecil Chan from Zamboanga City. Magandang hapon po. So, first picture po, this one. Ano po kaya yung karapatan ng bata na nais ipakita ng larawang ito? Anyone po? Yan po. Good afternoon po, Ma'am Emily Anggi from Sultan Kudarat Division. So, yan, very good po. Ito po ay nagpapakita ng right to proper birth. Karapatan po na mabuhay, ipanganak. Of course, kahit na yung bata ay nasa sinapupunan pa lamang. So, isa ito sa mga pangunahing karapatan ng mga kabataan po. So, very good po. Pangalawa po kaya, ito po. Itong pangalawang larawan, ano po kaya yung nais ipakita na karapatan ng bata na taglay-taglay ng mga bata? Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. Ano po kaya? Yung una, right to proper birth. How about this one? Ano kaya yung nakikita nyo sa larawan? Yung bata nagbabasa. Good afternoon po, Ma'am Jenny from SDO Parañaque. Hello po. Good afternoon po. Ayan, very good po. Right to education. So, ginagarantiyan ng pamahalaan, ng Estado, even ng ating mga magulang na yung mga bata ay dapat magkaroon ng good quality education po. So, the state will provide its basic, di ba? Yung primary educational system ng mga bata mula sa elementarya hanggang sa sekundarya po. And pagdating sa tertiary level, sa kolehiyo, nagbibigay po ang pamahalaan ng iba't ibang subsidiya, yung subsidy or mga scholarship grants. Yan, sabi po ni Ma'am Jenny Makatungal, karapatang makapag-aral. Very good po, salamat po. Ma'am Cecil Chan, karapatang makapag-aral. Kay Ma'am Joy Adriana Dio Caresa, right to basic education. Very good po, maraming salamat po. Ikatlo po kaya na larawan. Good afternoon po, Ma'am Sally Alameda from Sultan Kudarat. This one, ano po kaya yung ikatlong larawan? Ano po kayang karapatan ng bata which was discussed last Tuesday ng ating ALS tutor in science po ni Teacher March. Di ba nag-discuss siya ng ano ba dapat yung balanced diet? So ito po ay tumutugon saan po? Yan, very good po. Right to basic needs, karapatan ng mga bata na magkaroon ng matugunan yung mga pangunahing pangailangan. Sabi ni Ma'am Jenny, maraming salamat po, napaka-active po ni Ma'am Jenny Makatugal. Karapatang makakain ng tama. Yan, very good po. Right to basic needs, yung clothing, pagkain, yung food, yung shelter po, kumbaga po sa kay Maslow's hierarchy of needs, yung physiological needs ng bata ay kailangang matugunan. Very good po. Maraming salamat po. So, yan, sabi ni Ma'am Joy Adriano, right to basic needs. Yan, very good po. So, ito po yung mga ilan sa mga karapatan na napag-aralan natin noong nakaraang linggo. So, ngayon naman po, ano-ano naman po yung mga social institution, what are the different social institutions na nakakatulong sa paghubog ng ating mga kabataan, ng pagiging responsableng mga kabataan. Of course, there are social institutions like school, like family, community, of course. So, ano kaya yung ngayon, ang gagawin niyo naman po, i-identify natin, ano naman po kaya yung mga social institution na tinutukoy sa bawat role. Number one, yan, kay Ma'am Jenny Makatu, DSW, yes, these are government agencies po. So, Yung mga social institutions po natin ay pamilya. Ayan po. So first, provide affection, companionship, and understanding sa mga bata. Ano po kaya social institution ito? Is it family? Is it school? Is it community po? Ayun po. Ano po kaya yung um, social institution po? Ayun po. Hello po sa aking kaklasmate na si Danny Limpitas na sumusuporta ngayon at nanonood. So kasama siguro ang kanyang mga anak. Hello po, good afternoon po. Sabi ni Ma'am Lovely Grace, community. Sabi ni Ma'am Jenny Makatugal, family. Ano po kaya talaga? Okay, provide affection, companionship, and understanding. The social institution will be, yan, very good po. Family po. Good afternoon po, Ma'am Joanne Fajardo. Hello po. Yan po. Family, yun, pamilya. So, gampanin at tungkulin ng pamilya na bigyan ng affection, companionship, at pag-unawa at pag-intindi yung kanilang mga anak upang nang sa ganon makilala nila at magabayan nila ng tama. Hindi po ba? Family is parang most responsible in providing affection, companionship, and understand. Bago sana lumabas yung mga bata dun sa humanap sila ng affection sa ibang tao. So sana yung family po. So pangalawa po, ito po, support parent education programs po. Yan, sabi ni Ma'am Cecil Chan kanina, family. And how about support parent education programs po? Ano naman po kaya yung social institution na na dapat gumagawa ng ganyan support parent education programs? Is it family? Is it school? Is it community po? Ayan, very good po. So community, yan, sabi po, community po. So support parent education program. So ang komunidad po, yung lipunang ginagalawan natin, and even our localized community po, mas support the parent education programs, yung paggabay sa mga magulang kung paano tinuturuan ng tama yung kanilang mga anak. Of course, the school, yung paaralan ay naandyan. So how about the immediate community will be in charge of helping the parents po sa pagpapalaki sa mga anak. Kaya sabi po ni Ma'am Jenny Makatugal, community po. Ayan. So how about this one? Provide support and moral guidance to children. Sino po kaya dapat yung gumabay, nag-provide ng moral support, guidance sa kanilang mga anak? So, is it family, school, or community po? What social institution po? Hello po, good afternoon po, Ma'am Cristeta, sir na. Ayun po. Ano po kayang sagot? Yan, very good. Of course, family. So, when we do speak of family, sa bahay natin unang natututunan yung mga norms, di ba? Yung mga kaugalian, kinagisnan. And of course, isa sa mga mahalagang bagay na dapat nating matutunan una sa bahay, of course, yung kung paano tayo kumilos ng tama. Yung our family should give us support and even moral guidance in everything na ginagawa ng kanilang mga anak. Yan, sabi po ni Ma'am Jenny Makatugal, family. Sabi po ni Ma'am Lovely Grace, parents po, magulang. Salamat po. How about this one? Ito po, last. Provide facilities that will develop child's fullest potentials po. Ano naman po ito? Hello po sa aking mother-in-law. Good afternoon po, Nanay Karen Abella. Salamat po sa panonood. So, how about this one? Provide facilities that will develop child's fullest potential. School, family, or community. Yung binibigyan mo ng lahat ng oportunidad yung bata na ma-develop niya yung fullest potential niya. Is it school, family, or community? Yan, very good po. Sabi po ni Ma'am, thank you po Ma'am Jenny Makatugal, napaka-active niyo po. The school will be the one to assist and even provide facilities that will develop child's fullest potential. Kaya nga po, hindi ba sa kagawaran sa DepEd, the school should provide a gender fair, parang learning experience po that will tend to develop the fullest potentials po ng mga bata. So, parang iniiwasan po yung diskriminasyon na dapat hindi nararamdaman ng mga bata. Yan, sabi po ni Ma'am Cristeta Serna, school, salamat po. So, Ayan, that's only a quick recap of what we discussed last week. So for this afternoon, what we are going to discuss will be a continuation of the rights. But by this time, hindi na lang po ito karapatan ng mga kabataan. So sabi po kanina ni Ma'am Cecil Chan, school, yan. Sabi po ni Sir Gabriel Archimedes Flor, church especially please. Yes po, church or religious institution are also parang considered as major social institutions. Salamat po, Sir Gabriel po. So, and of course, in charge with the morality or moral standards na dapat ituro natin sa mga bata. So, going on, our discussion for this afternoon will be focusing on civil and political rights po. Mga karapatang sibil at political na taglay, hindi lang ng mga kabataan, bagkus ito po ay taglay ng lahat ng tao. And so, this will be our topic for this afternoon po. Ayun po. So what are our lesson objectives for this afternoon? One, it is to identify and discuss the civil and political rights of Filipinos. So in the Philippine context po. So alamin natin yung ilan sa mga karapatang sibil at political na dapat taglay natin. So sabi nga ng ilang kilalang personalidad, lamang ang may alam, hindi po ba? So, pangalawa po, explain the responsibilities suggested by or inherent in each right. So, bukod sa mga karapatang taglay-taglay natin, ano-ano ba yung mga responsibilidad na dapat din natin ginagawa? Hindi lang, of course, di ba sabi nga ni Spider-Man, ni Spidey, with great power comes with great responsibility. So, what has been our power? Of course, our right. So ano naman kaya yung mga responsibilidad na dapat nating taglayin? So at ang ikatlo, demonstrate the proper exercise of civil and political rights. Hello po sa aking mahusay na estudyante na mag-aaral na ngayon ng UP Diliman, Carlos Torcelino. Hello, salamat sa pagsuporta. So, ayun. So, next. So, this will be divided into two different lessons. The lesson one will be know your civil and even political rights. Ano ba yung mga karapatang sibil at karapatang political na dapat taglayin ng mga Pilipino? So ano nga ba when we do speak of civil and political rights? So when we do speak of civil and political rights, human rights as kumbaga bilang isang broaden parang field of knowledge and even yung karapatan can be divided into two different broaden parang yung divisions. So one is civil and political rights and the second will be economic, socio-economic, and cultural rights. So isa doon sa broaden division ng human rights ay yung civil and political rights. So when we do speak of civil and political rights, hello, Catherine Hope Camanso Cayer, good afternoon. Civil and political rights are class of rights that protect individuals from infringement of government, social organization, and private individuals. So when we do speak of infringement, parang samot nalilimitahan ka. So these civil and political rights tend, of course, to remind us na when we were limited by say for example, government, social organization, or private individuals, we can assert these civil and political rights. Which ensures one's ability to participate in the civil political life of the society without discrimination or repression. So when we do speak of civil and political rights, these are fundamental rights affirmed by the Philippine Constitution to every Filipino. So these civil and political rights can be enjoyed without distinctions of origin. So lahat tayo pwede nating i-enjoy ito regardless of our origin, our color, yung race, our sex, or gender orientation, dialect, religion, political affiliation, so and political affiliation and other opinions. So lahat tayo dapat taglay natin to. So when we do speak of this, it is guaranteed. First, yung highest body, yung UDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So this one, when we do speak of civil and political rights, so first, it is guaranteed by UDHR. So this one. Second will be, yung pangalawa po is International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Hello po, Sir Yanni from Las Piñas City. Hello po, Sir. International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. So, that's one. Next, it is embedded in the 1987 Philippine Constitution, yung Bill of Rights na taglay-taglay natin. And last one, of course, statutory legislation, yung mga batas na ginawa ng mga legislators natin. So, na of course, hindi na nakasama doon sa 1987 Constitution na meron tayo. So, these are known to be, ito yung mga nagagarantiyan ng sinasabi nating civil and political rights. Ayun po. So, what has been the difference between civil and political rights? Ano ba yung pagkakaiba? Of course, as a broadened division of human rights, magkasama sila. But what has been the difference of civil and political rights? So, first, when we do speak of civil rights, civil rights are those rights which the law enforces at the instance of private individuals for the purpose of securing to them the enjoyment of their happiness. This ensures that human beings ensures the dignity of each human being. So, of course, as well as in the pursuit of their own happiness. So, lahat tayo taglay-taglay natin ito as private individual. Whereas, when we do speak of political rights, these are rights which enables us to participate in running the affairs of the government either directly or indirectly. So, how can we participate in government affairs directly and indirectly? Of course, meron na yung directly, yung we can elect leaders, di ba? We give our consent, yung mga sinasabi nila na consent of the governed, hindi po ba? At yung mga concept of the general will ng mga socio-political thinkers. So, directly, we are involved in the process of decision making kasi tayo yung pumipili nung ruler natin, tayo yung pumipili nung magiging pinuno natin na siyang gagabay at gagawa ng ilang mga malalaking desisyon sa ating bansa. So indirectly, paano naman tayo involved on the process? So we can be elected, of course, we can also elect leaders. And so let's continue. So these are some of the civil and political rights na dapat taglay-taglayin ng mga tao. So first one, ayan, this picture, ano po kaya ang sa tingin nyo? What could be the civil and political rights na taglay-taglayin? May paaralan, may healthcare system, may volunteerism, ano po kaya yan? Yan, very good po. So when we do speak of true civil rights, or sabi ni Sir Gabriel Archimedes Flores, are ultimately based on the dignity of the human person. Yes, salamat po, Sir. So the first right, yung civil and political right na dapat taglayin ng tao is the right to life, yung right to live, liberty and security of a person. So anong sinasabi nito? That every person has the right to live with adequate shelter, yung kanina yung right, yung karapatan to sustain the balanced need or yung pagkain ng bata. So shelter, food, clothing, medical care, and necessary social services. Ito yung pinapakita ngayon lang. Yan. So, yan, tama po. So, Ma'am Jenny Makatugal, right to live. Salamat po. Sinasabi dito na everyone has the right na to security also in the event, halimbawa, unemployment, kagaya ng pandemyang nararanasan natin ngayon, hindi po ba madami yung nawalan nung trabaho? So, paano ginagarantiya ng pamahalaan or ng Estado itong mga karapatan na ito? So, of course, dito po mapasok yung tulong pinansyal na inahatid sa atin ng ating pamahalaan, and at the same time, yung mga local government sa tulong ng mga local government units po. So, pagpo-provide din ng mga livelihood programs po. So, and at the same time, ito po yung larawan na paaralan. So, it is also, everyone has the right to have an equal access to education and even public services po. Be it kahit kahit pa, of course, di ba, whether kung ikaw ay legal na anak or hindi legal na anak. And at the same time, of course, yung mga just and favorable conditions sa pagtatrabaho and protection against unemployment or unfavorable pay. Sabi ni Ma'am Jenny, magkatugal seguridad, magkaroon ng seguridad. Yes po, right to life, liberty, and security. Salamat po. This one. Next, pangalawa po, ito po. Ano po kaya yung larawan na ipinapakita po? Ayan, parang may judge, tapos may pinipresent po. Hindi po ba? So, ano po kaya yung pinapakita dyan sa larawan na yan? Yan, very good po. Right to fair trial and hearing po. So, when we do speak of the right to fair trial and hearing po, our Constitution, not only our Constitution as what flashed on the screens a while ago, these civil and political rights has been guaranteed by UDHR, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR, Bill of Rights of the 1987 Constitution, and at the same time, yung mga statutory legislation, yung mga batas na ginawa natin ay anong meron, ginagarantiya, and even our Constitution, that those people who were accused of crimes ay anong meron, dapat ini-inform sila of the charges against them. Hindi sila pwedeng hulihin basta-basta. So that is under the right fair trial. So, and at the same time, they have the right to seek counsel po. So sabi ni Sir Gabriel, social choices made should be protect and promote the dignity of human person. Salamat po. Yan. Sabi ni Ma'am Jenny, karapatang paglilitis at pagdinig. Tama po. So, sinasabi din na anong meron sa karapatang paglilitis at pagdinig, yan, guaranteed of equal and just access to opportunities of personal and collective growth. Thank you po, Sir Gabriel. Very fruitful po yung mga insights po ninyo. Salamat po. For this, yung right to fair trial and hearing, of course, always those people who were accused or charged of the crime should always remain innocent until proven guilty under a fair hearing po of an independent or impartial court. So, di ba, innocent until proven guilty by the proper courts po. So, sana po ganun, hindi po ba? So, ano yung mga bagay o sitwasyon na pumapasok dito? Dito po pumapasok yung sinasabing warrant of arrest or search warrants, di po ba? So when we do speak of warrants, ano po yung sinasabi natin when we do speak of warrant? Yung warrant is a parang written order issued by the judge, hindi po ba? So it authorizes the police to conduct search and seizures and even arrest. Hindi po ba? So if and only if the court or even the police, parang the judge may issue only a search warrant if and only if and there is a probable cause that the police will find evidence during a search. So ano ba yung pagkakaiba ng search warrant sa arrest warrant? Ano kayang pagkakaiba ng search warrant sa arrest warrant? May pagkakaiba po ba yun? Pag sinabi nating arrest warrant, so it's a written order permitting the arrest warrant of an individual na whose name appeared where dun sa written order na yon. So, ano-ano yung mga conditions nitong arrest warrant na ito if and only if the person is engaged in, so ibig sabihin during, engaged in, has engaged in a criminal activity, ibig sabihin tapos na has engaged in a criminal activity or has been planning to engage. So, ibig sabihin, before, during, and even after engagement of the criminal activity, pwedeng mag-issue ang judge ng arrest warrant. So, whereas yung search warrant naman, kung yung arrest warrant ay unwritten order permitting the arrest of a person, yung search warrant, it's a written order that allows police to make search or to find evidence for a particular criminal activity. So, anong meron, when we do speak of right to fair trial and hearing, of course, ilan yan sa mga dapat hinahanap natin. So bago natin patuloyin sa bahay, of course, so mahirap na, of course, nowadays, there are issues of planting evidences. We do not keep bad faith to our kumbaga officials, and at the same time yung mga police officers. However, these are necessary, these are essential rights na dapat nating malaman when we were faced to these kinds of situations po. So this is right to a fair trial and hearing. Third, ano naman po kaya itong larawan na ito? Anong ipinapakita nito? Karapatan kayang ano? Freedom of Miranda rights must be stated din po. Yan, sabi ni Carlos Torcino. Tama anak. So of course, the Miranda rights is also important in the presentation of right to fair trial po. So how about this one? Ma'am Jenny Magkatugal, freedom of speech at mapayapang pagtitipon. Tama po. So when we do speak of this one, picture, freedom of speech and peaceful assembly. So when we do speak of course, everyone has the right and has the right to express freely our opinions, our point of views, and even holding our own opinions. And at the same time, peaceful assembly. So when we do speak of peaceful assembly, join or organizations or even associations na, of course, yung less interference nung force from our government. So this one, pinahintulutan naman talaga. It is embedded in our civil and political rights to freely express our opinions sa mga social concerns natin. Of course, mamaya on the lesson 2, however, how we will express this kind of freedom of speech. So when we do speak of freedom of speech and peaceful assembly, very important dito, of course, at the same time, yung freedom of information, yung ability to access information ng mga public officials, of course, in order for parang to seek transparency na meron tayo. So that's one, freedom of assembly. So joining labor unions is kumbaga hindi pinagbabawalan. So as long as again this is peaceful assembly, so sana hindi tayo magkaroon ng stereotyping or judgment, negative judgment agad na kapag pumunta na sa labas at naglatag ng hinaing, o halimbawa yung mga nagwelga or kaya nagrarally, masama ka agad. They are just airing their social concerns to the immediate to those people in power. So of course, bago naman yan lumabas, halimbawa yung mga joining picket, joining rallies, bago naman yan lumabas, bago umabot yan sa labas, there are of course negotiations and even conversations between the two different sides. However, mas pinaiigting nila, and at the same time mas kumbaga they make people kumbaga informed about their cause when we do speak of this one. So I hope we do not have a negative mind when we do speak of freedom of speech and even peaceful assembly. Ayan, sabi ni Nanay kanina, Ebel, karapatan sa pananampalataya. Opo, mamaya papasok tayo dyan. How about this one? It's very given already. So, when we do speak of this one, itong picture na to, of course, ito ay tumutugon sa right to suffrage or right to vote. So, yan. Everyone has the right, when we do speak of right to vote, everyone, yan, sabi ni Ma'am Jenny Magkatugal, right to vote. Thank you po. Everyone has the right na to take part in governing our country, be it na ma-elect tayo or even tayo ay pumili ng mga representative natin na siyang mag-spearhead, and at the same time siyang kikilos doon sa mga adhikain nung lipunang kanyang ginagalaw. And of course, once we give the consent, what is the mandate to those people elected? It is to deliver yung social aspirations ng mga tao. So dito pumapasok si consent of the governed as an idea, as a socio-political idea that we give our consent in exchange for the consent that we gave to those people who were elected into position. It is to deliver the social aspirations of most of the people. So, halimbawa, yung pagresponde halimbawa ngayon sa pandemya, of course, most of the political leaders are more concerned of what their social constituents. So paano ba magiging ligtas ang bansa? Paano ba magiging ligtas ang mundong ginagalawan? So regardless dun sa um, yung limitations na nararanasan natin ngayon. So of course, when we do speak of this, sana, of course, malinaw at malinis yung election na magaganap. So, they shall be done through unbiased election, di ba? So, and people have the right to participate, to take part, participate in the job of the government. So, dito pumapasok yung indirect nakikipag-participate tayo saan sa government sa government natin. So, we deliver services as part of the continuing program of the government. So, next, pang-5. How about this one? Ito ata yung sinasabi kanina. Sabi ni Ma'am Jenny, makatugal, right to vote. Ito yung sinasabi kanina ni Nanay Karina Abelian. So, dito pumapasok yung karapatan. Ayan, mapapansin niyo po, nagdadasal. So, in a Catholic religion, di ba? So, Quran, yan, nananalangin din. So, right to choose religion. Yan. Salamat po, Ma'am Jenny, for staying. So, right to choose a religion. So, lahat po ay binibigyan ng pagkakataon na pumili ng relihiyon. And as part of that, ano yung karapatan na pumili ng relihiyon and even to freely express it. So, hindi ba? So, walang pagtatangi sa relihiyon. And at the same time, ano yung mga gampanin? Sana, of course, kung may makita man tayo na ibang tao na may ibang relihiyon at iba yung ipinapakitang pananampalataya, we need to practice religious tolerance or to respect at least them. How about this one? Yan, so may inaresto, may nagpapaliwanag, so it is somehow connected to the first, civil and political right. So, yan, very good po. So, when we do speak of this one, yan, thank you po, Ma'am Danica de los Reyes, religious rights. Tama po. Right to privacy, family, home, and correspondence. So, when we do speak of this one, it pertains to the right to privacy of every human being. So, privacy is qualified as the fundamental right of every human being. So, ano yung ginagarantiya under the UDHR? Article 12, no person or no one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy sa loob ng tahanan, nor the attacks upon his honor and reputation. So, dito pumapasok yung pagsasaalang-alang sa dignidad at reputasyon ng tao na under his or her private life. So, sana inirerespeto natin yun. So, lahat ng tao, since privacy is a fundamental right, lahat ng tao ay dapat tumatalima sa pagrespeto nito. So, halimbawa, ano yung madalas na paglabag sa ganitong karapatan? Halimbawa, sa sasakyan, di ba, minsan may nagtitext, minsan may mga tao tayong nakikita, sumisilip doon, di ba, nakikibasa din. So, parang part siya ng messaging, di ba? So, hindi lang na-send sa kanya. So, that's a part of the right to privacy, family, home, or correspondence po. So, this one. And last one, ano naman po ito? This picture. Ano po kaya ito? Yan, may bahay, may pamilya. Right to ano kaya? Yan, very good po. So when we do speak of this one, right to property. So everyone has the right to own property. So regardless kung babae ka man o lalaki ka. So yan, karapatang magkaroon ng sariling pagmamay-ari. Thank you, Ma'am Jenny Makatugal. Salamat po. Ito po, so either babae ka man or lalaki ka, so di ba? Ganun din based on history, parang sa Visayan local history. Before Dato Puti, in our local history, before Dato Puti could sell land during his own time, nagpaalam muna siya sa asawa niya kay Queen Maniwan P1. So that in that way, anong meron that could symbolizes that hindi basta-basta gumagawa ng desisyon ang lalaki pagdating sa pagmamay-ari, pagdating sa pagkakaroon ng gamit. So kinukonsulta, and at the same time nagkakaroon pa rin ng karapatan in the Philippine context. Prehistorically na anong meron, lahat ng tao, regardless of the sex and even edad, ay may kakayanan na magmay-ari nung mga bagay. So, pwede silang magmay-ari, pwede rin naman silang magbenta as long as kanila yung bagay na pinag-aarian nila. Okay, so let's see. Let's check our understanding. So, let's see kung may natuto ba kayo or may natandaan kayo. So, anong gagawin natin dito? Let's find out if you understood well the different civil and political rights discussed on the preceding lesson. Identify which civil and political rights is exercised in the or respected in each of the following situation. Choose your answer from the box. So, pili po tayo dito. Right to life, liberty, and security. Right to fair trial hearing, right of freedom of speech and peaceful assembly, right to vote, right to privacy, family, home, or correspondence, right to choose a religion, and right to own property. So, ito po. So, Marlon was a suspect to a kidnapping incident and was given a counsel before interrogation. So, bago siya i-interrogate, binigyan siya nung parang representative niya, tagapagsalita, na magdi-defend sa kanya. So, ano kaya yung ini-exercise na right? Anyone po? Is it right to life, right to fair trial, right of speech, right to vote, right of privacy, right to choose a religion, or right to own a property? Ayan, very good po. This one. So, right to fair trial. Ayun po. So, no po. No, parang nawala akong. Wait lang po Let's see. Ayan po. So, balik po tayo. Is it? Nakikita nyo na po ba yung screen ko? Hello po. Marlon, yan. Marlon was a suspect to a kidnapping. Yan. Sabi po ni Ma'am Danica, tuloy po tayo, right to fair trial. So, sabi ni Ma'am Jenny, makatugal, right to fair trial. Very good po. So, right to fair trial po. Ano po, Sir Ariel? Ano pong gagawin ko dito? Yan. Second po. Ayan. So, second, Merly's Christian friends respect her religious beliefs as Muslim. Ano naman po kaya ito? Ayan. Bumalik na po. Ayan. Merly's Christian friends respect her religious belief as a Muslim. Is it right to life? Right to fair trial, right to vote, right to privacy, right to choose a religion, or right to own a property? Ayan, very good po. So, right to choose a religion. So, yung pagrespeto, yan, sabi ni Ma'am Jenny Makatugal, right to choose religion. Very good po. Next, Miriam bought po yan, a piece of land in the province. After it was fully paid, she demanded for its title. Yan, sabi kanina ni Ma'am Danica de los Reyes, right to choose religion. Yan po. How about this one? Bumili siya ng piece of land in the province and after nabayaran niya, she demanded for its title. Ano po kaya? Yan, very good po. So, right to own a property. So, very good po. So, right to own a property. Next, despite being an active union leader who lobbies the rights and benefits of workers in his company, Wilson retained in his position at work. Is it right to life, right to fair trial, freedom of speech, right to vote, right to privacy, right to choose a religion, or right to own a property? Very good po, Ma'am Danica, kanina, right to own a property. How about this one po? Yan, very good po. So, right to speech and peaceful assembling. So, this one. Next, Nilo has the right to question his neighbor who listened intensively to his conversation on the telephone. So, ano po kaya yung right na minamanifest dito? Is it right to life, right to fair trial, freedom of speech, right to vote, right to choose a religion, right to privacy, and right to own a property? Yan, very good po. Right to privacy, family, or correspondence po. And thank you po, Ma'am Danica de los Reyes. Right to own a property, yung kanina pong tanong. So, let's proceed. When we do speak, lesson 2 na po tayo. Sabi ni Ma'am Jenny, right to privacy. Thank you po, Ma'am Jenny and Ma'am Danica de los Reyes. Salamat po. So, let's proceed to our discussion for this afternoon. Be responsible and exercise your rights properly. So, after we discuss some political, civil and political rights, of course, it is expected for us to know our responsibility in expressing those rights. So, ano-ano kaya yung mga responsibilidad na dapat nating taglayin sa pag-express in the expression of these civil and political rights? So, number 1, civil and political right to life, liberty, and security of a person. So, what could be our responsibility when we do speak of civil and political right to live? So, may karapatan tayong mabuhay, may kalayaan tayo, and to protect yung security natin as a dignified person. However, ano yung responsibility natin? So, dahil may karapatan ba tayong mabuhay, kailangan umasa na lang tayo sa gobyerno? Kailangan ba iasa na lang natin lahat sa magulang natin? So, halimbawa, yung mga students, may karapatan tayong mag-aral, may karapatan tayong mabuhay and security. Dapat ba umasa na lang tayo for the whole time? So, when we do speak of these responsibilities, yan, it is our responsibility, of course, to work for ourselves and for your family. So, nakatunga nga lang tayo for the whole day, wala naman tayong ginawa. So, tapos gagalit tayo sa mga government agencies or the same time sa magulang natin na wala man lang nangyayari sa buhay natin. Again, our responsibility is what? To work yan. Sabi ni Ma'am Jenny, magtrabaho. Tama po. Salamat po, Ma'am. To work for yourself. If you are a student, it is your responsibility to study. So, alam natin na pinag-aaral tayo ng mga magulang natin. But however, anong meron, it is very rightful na anong meron, ibigay natin, suklian natin yung paghihirap ng ating mga magulang. Hindi nila pinulot yung pera na pang tuition fee ninyo or pinupulot yung pera, lalo na sa panahon ngayon ng pandemya. So, hindi lang tayo basta aasa sa kung sino man or even in the government. If you cannot see something good, say for example, in the government, anong meron, gawin din natin yung part natin at the same time. So, this one, when we do speak of the right to life, liberty, and security of a person, we can, sabi nga, be the change that we want to see. Hindi po ba? Next, right to fair trial and hearing. Right to fair trial and hearing. Ano naman po kaya yung responsibility natin dito? So, when we do speak of responsibility, yan. So, since we have this right to fair trial and hearing, since we have this kind of right as a civil and political right, ano yung responsibility natin? We can face it. We can face the claims and allegations and not to bring false witnesses. So, anong meron, since we are guaranteed the right to fair trial and hearing, we have the confidence to face the claims and allegations in a proper court proceeding. Hindi po ba? So, 'di ba minsan may mga bagay na nakikreate na yung tao because of this kind of right to fair trial and hearing na nawawala na ito. Yes, salamat po Ma'am Jenny. Harapin yung akusasyon at minsan anong meron, hindi na tayo pumupunta doon sa proper courts in order for us to settle and even to exercise this due process of law. 'Di ba? Nag-create na tayo ng sarili nating sistema, parang judgment system. Gusto natin kaagad-agad na. 'Di ba? And we always advertise our jackpot mentality as parang dominant, parang belief system ng mga Pilipino, yung jackpot mental. Gusto natin agad-agad na nasusolusyonan. Kaya kahit hindi na tayo dumadaan doon sa tamang proseso, 'di ba? Minsan nabo-broadcast na, 'di ba? I mean, and there's nothing wrong. However, there are proper courts na dapat magsisettle nito. And we must have the confidence to face these allegations. And once we face this allegation, kung wala naman talaga tayong kasalanan, we should not bring false witnesses or even say false statements kung wala naman talaga tayong kasalanan. So, that's one. Freedom of speech and peaceful assembly. You were guaranteed to freely express your own opinions in different media platforms. Halimbawa, pwede mong sabihin kung anong gusto mong sabihin sa kapwa mo. However, ano yung pinaka-responsibility natin dito when we do speak of freedom of speech? Yan, very good po. So, when we do speak of this one, of course, it is always our responsibility to speak of the truth, to tell the truth, and not to malign or harm other person. So, di ba? Gusto mong sabihan siya, may nagawa siyang kasalanan sa'yo, di ba? O di kaya halimbawa, may gusto kang sabihin sa kanya. And if you know that he or she will be offended, you can use politically correct terms para hindi siya masaktan. And at the same time, magkaroon ng maayos na conversation and communication, masabi mo ng maayos yung gusto mong sabihin. Responsibility po ito. So, this one, freedom of speech and peaceful assembly. So, we have the right to air out our concerns, not to the extent na anong meron, minumura na natin yung tao online. So, of course, we need to address it properly also. We can air out our concerns. So, again, what is wrong in media, when we do speak of media, akala natin kapag maraming like, di ba? Pag maraming like, tama. Di ba? So, however, in this freedom of speech, of course, we need to look into the content and even the way it was delivered. Also, it is our responsibility na magsuri, di ba? So, kadalasan, that's why, anong meron, there is a problem of the proliferation of the fake news. Ngayon, hindi ba? Kasi akala natin kapag maraming like, tama na, di ba? Bandwagoner, di ba? Sabi nga sa philosophy, it's a fallacy of appeal to parang popularity. So, argumentum ad, nga ito, not baculum, fallacy of appeal to popular will, hindi po ba? So, this one. Next. Right to vote. Ano naman po kaya? How about right to vote? Ano naman po kaya ang responsibility namin when we do speak of right to vote? May responsibility po ba tayo na dapat gampanan? Yan, yung kanina argumentum ad populum. So, appeal to, fallacy of appeal to popular will. So, this one, yan. It is our responsibility na anong gagawin natin. Of course, we need to be yan, paglalaan. Pangalagaan ng boto, sabi ni Ma'am Jenny. Salamat po. Responsibility to vote wisely. Of course, lahat tayo binigyan ng pagkakataon, specifically during the rightful age, to really participate in selecting our leaders. The thing is, dapat maging responsable tayong, kumbaga, voter. We need to be responsible voter. So, hindi lang sana tayo na-influensya ng media or ng mga iba't ibang makinarya. Hindi ba? So, how to become a responsible voter? We need to elect those people who has the capability and even experience in the position na tatakbuhan nila. Hindi dahil nakita natin sa TV, hindi dahil sumayaw, hindi dahil kumanta. Hindi po ba? So, when we do speak of right to vote, anong meron, tingnan natin yung qualification, merit over kung ano mang gimmick. So, in that way, we tend to be very responsible. That's why Di ba? Democracy is parang, kumbaga, of all the forms of government, yung democratic form of government, binibigyan niya ng pagkakataon ang lahat na magkaroon ng boses at tinig sa pamahalaan sa pagpili ng mga leader. However, ano yung downside nun? If and only if yung mga tao na magpa-participate in selecting the leaders and in selecting those people who will be in the position ay hindi maalam at hindi, kumbaga, they do not consider yung iba't ibang mga qualifications wisely, then that could be the doom of what could be yung government, hindi ba? That's why nakikita natin there are some politicians anong meron nasa posisyon pero hindi po ba? So, I mean, dapat we always need to see the merits and even the qualifications of those. And even, sabi ni Ma'am Jenny, pangalagaan, protect our votes and not to sell it or cheat it. Next, right to privacy. Family, home, or correspondence. Ano yung responsibility natin? Yan, very good. It is our responsibility to guard ourselves and even our family to unlawful or illegal activities. Yes, bahay natin to. We are guaranteed of our privacy and even yung security of dignity and even reputation. However, it is always our responsibility na umiwas din sa mga unlawful or even illegal activities. So, this one. Right to choose a religion. Ano kaya yung responsibility natin? Yan, very good. It is our responsibility to respect others' beliefs and even traditions po. So, alam natin na magkakaiba tayo ng kulturang kinagisan, magkakaiba tayo ng relihiyong kinalakihan, anong meron, kailangan rumispeto tayo. We need to practice religious tolerance when we do speak of this civil and political right. And last one, right to own a property. May karapatan tayo at karapatan na magkaroon ng property. However, what is our responsibility? Sana hindi tayo bumili ng mga illegal properties, hindi po ba? In that way, we are supporting piracy, hindi ba? Halimbawa, kung may kakayanan kang bumili, however, bumili ka ng mga pirata, of course, you're supporting piracy, and at the same time, nililimit natin yung pag-bloom ng mga artists natin. Paano sila makakagawa ng mga magagandang pelikula at magagandang kanta pa? So, and of course, and acquire properties illegally. So, yung mga nakaw na gamit and even we force something na kinuha natin. So, of course, it is our responsibility to do away with these things, keep illegal, not to buy or keep illegal properties, and at the same time, acquire properties illegally. So, now, before we end our session for this afternoon, let's have a game. It's deal or no deal. So, tingnan natin kung payag kayo or kung sa tingin nyo, ito ay ina-exercise yung responsibility into different civil and political rights. 1, choose where you want to live, study, or work as long as you do not step in others' rights. Is it a deal or no deal? Minamanifest niya ba? Ina-explain niyo po, pinapakita niya po ba yung pag-responsable at pag-alam doon sa civil and political rights? Yan, very good po. It's a deal, of course. So, as long as hindi ka, you do not step in others' rights. So, di ba? Sabi nga, the moment na magtatapos yung karapatan mo is what? The moment na nag-start yung karapatan ng ibang tao. Yan. Salamat po, Ma'am Jenny, for staying. Ma'am Jenny Makatugal, maraming salamat po. It's a deal. Next, vote wisely during election. Choose the candidate who gives you groceries to your community. Boboto ka ba? Boboto ka lang ba ng mga taong nagbibigay ng groceries? Lalo kung yung mga nagbibigay ngayong election lang, hindi ba? So, is it a deal or no deal? Tingin nyo. Deal po ba or no deal? Ayan, sabi ni Ma'am Danica de los Reyes, no deal. Salamat po, very good. It's a no deal. So of course, sabi nga kanina, yung right to vote natin, we need to choose and even to vote wisely. We need to look for the qualifications. Not only just because you receive directly to that particular person. And I think that's one of the social problem na dapat nating itama. So dahil napagod na tayo sa sistema, umasa na lang tayo sa kung sino yung direktang nakapagbigay sa atin ng tulong. One time, big time, hindi po ba? So, which, sana i-elect natin yung mga leaders at yung mga tao na fit for that position na kung ano yung kaya niya gawin. Halimbawa, sa pagiging senador, yung may kakayanan, may expertise sa paggawa ng batas. Hindi po ba? So, and even in different houses, force your best friend to join your religion. Is it a deal or no deal? Force your best friend to join your religion. Pinupuwersa mo yung best friend mo na maging karelihiyon. Is it a deal or no deal? Yan, very good po. No deal po. Of course. So we need to practice kumbaga, religious tolerance. We need to respect. Next, when you are sick, you can consult doctors at the community clinic. Yan. And avail for free medicines. Is it a deal or no deal? And thank you po, Ma'am Jenny. Sabi kanina ni Ma'am Jenny, no deal. How about this one? When you are sick, you can consult doctors at the community clinic and avail free medicine. Deal or no deal? It is? Yes, very good. It's a deal. So, yes, you can consult yung doctors sa community clinic natin and avail of free medicines. You are entitled of that because you have the right to live. Diba? So, liberty and even security. So, resist arrest warrant. When you are shown the warrants, if you believe you are not guilty. So, di ka papayag. Halimbawa, di ka papayag, magre-resist ka sa arrest warrant if you believe you are not guilty. Sa tingin mo, kung di ka naman guilty, magre-resist ka ba? Deal or no deal? Yan, very good. Of course, it's a no deal. If you believe you are not guilty, you have the right to fair trial, hindi po ba? So, right to free trial and even hearing. So, we can face the accusation and in a proper court po. So, I'm hoping that also those people in power also practice this kind of civil and political right po. So, ayun po. So, with that, salamat po for staying, Ma'am Danica De Los Reyes and Ma'am Jenny Macatugal. So, that ends my discussion for this afternoon po. So, I always leave you this quote or message na anong meron. Sabi nga, lamang ang laging may alam. So, it's very important to know and be aware of our civil and political rights po. So, with that, thank you po. Huwag pong aalis because Sir Ariel, yung digital citizenship will be next. So, muli po, ako po si Tutor Gilbert, ang inyong kasama po for ALS, Learning Strand 5, Understanding Self and Society. Maraming salamat po. Thank you.
Magandang araw, ako po si Sir Ariel, ang ALS lover ng Edtech Unit. Narito po ako para sa isang napakagandang balita at upang magpaalala na ang kinabukasan ay mas gaganda at uunlad kung ang lahat ay patuloy na mag-aaral. Sa edukasyon sa ating bansa, tiyak na walang maiiwanan sa pag-abot ng mga pangarap. Kaya naman ang Department of Education ICT's Educational Technology Unit at Alternative Learning System Task Force ay nagtutulungan sa pagkakaroon ng ALS Tech Empowerment Program upang maihatid ang excellent quality education sa ating mga ALS learner and teachers. To easily deliver the lessons from the modules and other references, we will provide tablet PC as part of the DepEd computerization program to all ALS teachers and orientation on the use of these packages. To deepen the pedagogical use of information and communications and technology in delivering instructions, there are training workshops on the use and curation of open educational resources or OER, Google and Microsoft productivity tools, creation of video lessons using PowerPoint presentations and KineMaster, and on ebook or e-magazine development. to create an avenue for remedial lessons that is open to all learners, teachers, and parents. We will have the ETUlay free online tutorial and mobile ETUlay, where we will visit remote schools to feature the best practices of our ALS teachers and learners. Sa mga out-of-school youth and adult, laging tatandaan na may pag-asa upang makapagpatuloy sa pag-aaral. May ALS para sa inyo. Ang edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, para sa guro. Sulong Edukalidad.